Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. And the question for today is divide two integers. So, given two integers, we have dividend and divisor. Divide two integers, we have to divide them without using multiplication, division, and modulus operator. And we have to return the quotient that is there after dividing dividend by divisor. All right. So the question is very simple, but the main thing given to us is that we can't use the multiplication division as well as the modulus operator to carry out the operation. All right, and one more thing that is given to us is that the integer division should truncate towards 0, which means losing its fractional part. So it means to say that if we divide something by another thing and if the result is in decimal, then we have to take its whole value, not the decimal thing. And is it clear? One more thing that is given to us here is that if the number is greater than integer dot max value, then we have to return its max value only. All right, so this is the things that is given to us, and these are some examples. Let's see towards the constraints that are given to us. The constraint given to us in this case are the value of dividend and divisor lies between integer dot min int to integer dot max int, and divisor would not be equal to 0. So dividend can be equal to 0, but divisor is not equal to 0. That is what given to us here. All right, so these are the two constraints that are given to us. Now let's move towards the approach of this question. So here is the question, and before moving towards the approach, let's see what we can do. As we know that, let's say the two numbers dividend and divisor given to us are, suppose let's say divisor is 8 and dividend is 55. All right, these are the two random numbers that I have selected. And one famous thing that we can do, or the simple math logic in here, is the first approach, that is repeated subtraction. So what we mean by repeated subtraction? As we know, we cannot use divide, multiply and modulus operator, so we have to make use of the rest of the operators that are given to us. So in this case we will use the repeated subtraction thing. Okay, so let's see this approach. In this approach, what we do is, like, we subtract from the dividend the divisor, like 55 minus 8. So 55 minus 8 is 47. 47 minus 8, what we get is 39. 39 minus 8 equals 31. So 39 minus 8 is 31. 31 minus 8 is 23. 23 minus 8 is 15, and 15 minus 8 is 7. As soon as this value is less than 0, we say we got our answer. So this is the number of, this is our question: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So let's see, if we divide 55 by 8, so it's 6 8 the 48 and 8 7 ka 56. So 6 point something is this, so we truncate it and 6 is our answer. So as you can see, with the repeated subtraction we can get our answer. Why we use this? Because basically we are just reading the table of 8, we are just subtracting it until the dividend becomes our remainder. Are you getting my point? Why we are subtracting it? Because if to reach any value, what we do is, as we read the table of 8, we say 8 1 the 8, 8 2 16. What are we doing? We are just adding 8 to the to the number. Suppose 8, then 16, then 24. That's how we read a table. But we think that we are multiplying it. But if we think deep enough, then we are doing nothing. We are just adding the same number again and again. And the number of times we are adding it, we say that's its multiplying factor. Alright. So, with the repeated subtraction, to get the answer, to get the quotient, we are doing nothing. We are just subtracting divisor from the dividend until the value that the dividend, until the dividend becomes the remainder. That's very important question. How dividend becomes the remainder as we keep on subtracting it. Okay, are you getting my point? I think this is a very simple approach, but it has a greater time complexity. So we are going to use another approach for this question, that would be using bit manipulation and using bitwise operators. So this approach is, I think, clear to everyone right now, that how we are using the repeated subtraction and why it's used in this case, and how our dividend becomes our remainder. And it's nothing but it's simple math logic that I've explained to you as well. So the time complexity for this will be O of n in worst case. Suppose the value is, suppose 1000, all right, and to be divided by 2. So what we do is 998 and so on. We loop it till we get 2 or less than 2, that is 0. So it will take O of n time. So we are not using this. We are using bitwise operators that will take much smaller time in logarithmic. So let's see that approach that we are going to use it today. Okay, all right. So before moving to this approach, I want to make clear 1-2 operators so that it's clear when we use them in the approach or in the code. So one small thing I want to tell about is left shift operator. So if we left shift any number in, say, suppose by I units, what we want to do is we just want to multiply it by this. This is the answer if we left shift an operator. You can check it also. I won't go into the details, but I just want that the concept should be clear, that if we use this operator, then what we want, the result is this. All right. Okay, is it clear? So I think left shift operator is clear, so you won't have any problem when we use it in code. All right. Now let's see. So let's suppose again the two numbers be 55 and 55 be the dividend, and small d with the divisor, that is will are 8. All right, and we have to find the quotient, and the same conditions we can use division, multiplication, as well as the modulus operator. So as we were doing repeated subtraction, can this be done in the opposite way? Because how in the opposite way? What do I mean by that? I mean by that is, why we are subtracting it? Can we don't add divisor again and again like we study a table, and when the value is less than that, we can say that is our answer. Let's see. So what we do is 8, then 8 plus 8, and then 8 plus 8 plus 8. So 8 plus 8 is 8, 8 plus 8 is 16, and 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 24. All right. So the we take 8 and it's 2 times, it's 1 times, it 3 times, and so on. All right. So let's say this variable be our temp t variable, yeah, temp variable as of now. Okay. So what we are doing is we are just increasing our temp variable and adding that to the number of times, adding that in our divisor. All right. So if t is 1, we are adding it only once. If t is 2, we are adding twice, and if 3 is 3, and so on. For t equals to 5 in this case, Similarly, for t equals to 6, it will be 8 added 6 times, and the result that will given to us is 48. And if we add 8 again, then the result will exceed the answer and we will get 56, and the remainder will be 7 if we subtract this from the that. Is it clear at this point how we are using this approach? So we are going to use this approach, but in a more complex way, in a more in the manner where we can use it in bitwise with the help of bitwise operations. Now, as we know that any number like this number can be represented in the power of 2, and if we use the left shift operator on a this on a divisor, and you know what I mean by that. If I use let's say I, so 2 to the power I, I'm just multiplying it, so it's basically if I equals to 0, 2 to the power 0 is 1. So wait, I'll let you know again. So suppose 8, and if I left shift by, let's say, 0, okay, so it's basically, I told you, it's 8 into 2 to the power 0, that is 1, so it is basically 8. So are you getting the point? So every number can be represented in a binary form 0 1 0 1 in 2 to the power. That is clear. So let's move towards the approach, final approach, in which we are going to just add it on until we get a number less than our main dividend, and we are going to use with the help of our bitwise operators. So what we are going to do is we are going to loop from, as we know, a number consists of 32 bits. So we are going from loop towards the maximum bit, that is 31. So if it's 32 bit, then 0 to 31 will be the bits, and it will be greater than equal to 0 and I minus minus. All right. So what we are going to do is we have taken two variables before that. One is our quotient, where we will be storing our answer, and another one, the temp. This variable, or the temporary variable, that will be telling us the number of, not the number of times, but how many times 8 is being adding. Okay, so let's see. So what we put here is the condition that if, suppose, temp, and we initialize both of them to 0. All right. So if temp plus, all right, divisor left shift I is, if this is less than or equal to our dividend. Oh, all right, let me, okay, then what we do is that we got a value that is less than, so what we do is the temp, so we add our value to temp plus equals to div, that is divisor level I. All right, and quotient, that will be our answer, equals to quotient, or I'll tell you later, 1 long left shift I. All right, why I've done this is to get the value of I. So 1 into 2 to the power to get our quotient, that how many is the quotient. So how many with the how much number we have multiplied it. All right, so 2 to the power, say 2, so 2 to the power 2 is 4, so we will get 4. All right, so that's how we, if 1 into anything is the number only, so that's why I have taken 1 and left shift it with the I. All right, so this is our code, and it will run for these values, and for the value we will get, we'll add it. Let's see with the example that only. So the values we have were for dividend, let's say it's for with the greater D, dividends equals to 50, what was the number? Dividend equals to 55 and divisor equals to 8. Okay, so for the value from loop I31 to I plus plus, so I told you that if 8 into 2 to the power, what will be the first? If 31, 32 and so on, we go up to 0. So 2 raised to power 3 is 8. So 8, 8, 64. No, 2 raised to power 4. 2 raised to power 2. So for the I equals to 2, that is 8, 4, 32. And if it is, suppose, let's say for 3, first we check that what's the value. So it for 3 is 8 and 2 raised to power 3 is 8. 8 into 8 is 64. So it's greater than 55, so we won't take this. Now for 8 into 2 raised to power 2, that is 2 raised to power 2 is 4. 8 into 4 is 32. So 32 plus the temp value is 0 in first case only, so it's less than or equal to 55. So we take this value, we go inside, we update our temp variable. Now the temp variable is set to the temp variable is set to all right, it's set to 32. And the question variable is now set to 2. Okay, question variable is now set to 2. Now what we do is, then 32 plus, now for 2 raised to power 1 we will check. So 2 raised to power 1 is 2 and 32 plus 2 is 34. Again the condition is true. Then 34 will be added to 32, that is the previous temp value. So temp plus equals to, so temp will be updated to 32 plus 8 into 2, oh sorry, wait, 32 plus 8, oh wait, plus 8, I have mistakenly 8. So 8 into 2 to the power 1, so I is 1 in this case. So 32 plus 8 into 2, 16. So 32 plus 16 is 6 to 8 and 3 1 4, 48. So 48 is less than 55, so we take this value as well. So let's move a little down. So our now temp will be this value, that is 48. So temp equals to 48 and quotient equals to 2 or with 1. So the binary representation of 2 is 1 0 and 1 is 0 1. So 1 1 1 1. So what we get is 3. All right. Okay, wait for 1 second. Let me just. So quotient will not be 2 in this case. Wait, t will be 32 only. For the value of quotient, the value of quotient in this case will be, so I is 2, so 1 left shift 2, that is 1 into 2 to the power 2 equals to 4. So quotient will be 4 for above value, so value of q will be 4 for this case. So t will be 32 and q will be 4. Now let's move to this point. Alright, let me delete this. So q is 4 and this is this. So now for 2 raised to power 1, 8 into 2, 16 and 16 plus 32 is 48 and 48 is less than 55. So 2 raised to power 1. Alright. So now 1 left 1 into 2 raised to power 1, that is 2, and we get 2 as our that solution. And now now 4 or 2, like that is we are adding bitwise. So 1 0 0, that is 4, and 2 is this, and 2 is 0 1 0. All right, so the bitwise add 0 0 0 with no 0, 1 0 1 1 0 1, so 1 1 0. So that is 4 6. So 6 is quotient now. Now for the value of now the value of t after this case will be 48. T equals to 48 and q equals to 6. Hope I'm clear at this point. So now 48 plus, let's see, I think most of you have got clear on the whole that where we are. So t equals to 48, q equals to 6, and we have got our answer, we know. But for the last value we will just check, like 48 plus 8 into 2 to the power 0 is less than equals to 55. So 2 raised to the power 0 is 1, so 8 into 1 is 8. So 48 it's plus 48 plus 8, that is 56, and it's greater than that, so we will just break it, and this is our final answer. So you can see how using bitwise operators we just keep on adding it, and with the help of the power of 2 we were able to reach this value quickly. So the complexity of this code will be big O of log to the power that of dividend. All right, and space complexity, as we know, it was over 1 because we are not storing anything. So let's move to the code for this question. As we know, the numbers can be negative also, so I have taken this as a check. So and the value will be stored in sign, because either the dividend will be negative or the divisor will be negative. If both will be negative and we divide them, then the result will be positive. So I have to take note of only one value, if dividend is negative or divisor is negative, and that will be stored in the sign operator. And after that I have taken their absolute values and stored that in this. Then I've taken two variables, quotient as well as temporary variable, and I have applied the loop where from I equals to 31, from the most significant bit I'm checking while it's greater than the 0, and applying the same rule that we applied there. Temp plus dividend, what is our divisor, left shift by the number of bits, that is the value of I. And if it's less than equals to dividend, then what we do is we just add it to the temp, and we take we take the value of I and left shift it by 1, and we or it with quotient. After this our answer will be stored in the quotient value, and we will check if the answer is greater than integer dot max value, that is our overflowing case, which was mentioned above also, that if it overflows then we have to just return the max value, or else we will return our answer. Now let's run it and wait. Now let's see. As you can see, it's accepted. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. Please like my video, share it among your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Bye.